Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, boy, oh boy, we have an interesting episode for you guys. So make sure you go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss this one. Anyway, as y'all are fully aware, Patrick Beverly has been one of the newest additions on ESPN. You see them on shows like ESPN Get Up and ESPN First Take. And ever since his entree onto the network, it has been nothing but fireworks. Ever since he arrived at ESPN, we even produced 2 shows on it talking about it, right? Patrick Beverly was the talk of the town. So much so they were talking about him on FS1 another platform. I mean on Fox, FS1 and other platforms, right? He was that big of a deal because of some of the things that he was saying about Chris Paul. And personally, I enjoyed his candor. I thought it was a breath of fresh air. Now, I didn't agree with everything that he said, and a lot of people didn't either, but there was one particular thing that he said that a lot of people pushed back on, even people that enjoyed him. And that was when he said he felt as if James Harden was deserving of the Supermax contract, even after watching how the Philadelphia 76ers with him flamed out of the playoff. A lot of people disagreed with him. And when he was on ESPN First Take, he was usually on there with JJ Redick, but he wasn't on there with Kendrick Perkins. So today, Kendrick Perkins was on the show with him, and they were having a segment with, it was Kendrick Perkins, Patrick Beverly, and Stephen A. Smith. And during this segment, for those of you who missed it, Kendrick Perkins totally called out Patrick Beverly on live TV for his takes, for basically being a hypocrite. So for those of you guys who missed that exchange, we're going to play it for you right now. We're going to come back here and react to it. So take a listen to the exchange between Kendrick Perkins and Patrick Beverly. Take a listen to that.
I watch you come on here on Monday, and I watch you sit up here and I watch you dismantle CP3. I watch you give CP3 the business for his horrible play.
Did I tell a lie?
No, you didn't tell a lie.
Okay, so next subject.
But you didn't tell the truth about James Harden, your homie. And see, when you come, hold on. So when you come on here and when you come on TV, and now you're taking yourself out of the basketball space, and you coming on here and you being an NBA analyst, homies don't matter no more. You got to come on here and speak the truth. And you was telling the lie, and the truth was nowhere near you. For the simple fact that if you're going to sit up here and tell us that James Harden deserved the Supermax after the performance and after what he did in Philadelphia this past season, you were telling a lie. And all you were showing us was that was your homeboy that you was protecting. You asked Stephen A. Smith why he didn't give the same energy to CP3 that we give to Ben Simmons. Why the hell you didn't get the same energy to James Harden that you gave to CP3 2 days before?
Because he wasn't getting cooked defensively. We talking about something offensively from another standpoint. We wasn't talking about anything offensive. I mean, you asked me a question, I'll give you an answer. Just because you don't like the answer I'm giving you, KP, and because you don't like the answer I'm giving you, that's another thing. But I'm just stating facts. We're entitled to our own opinion. You have your opinion, I have mine. Says who? You?
No, says the numbers. Says the numbers in the
25,
of watching James
10 and 8.
No, he was not averaging 25,
22,
10 and 8 in the
22,
playoffs.
I'm sorry. 22. I'm talking about season. 22, 10 and 8.
I'm not talking about season. I'm talking about when it matters the most, because if we talking about the season, then we're talking about CP3 being the ultimate floor general and actually leading the best team in the NBA to having the best record if you want to talk about season. We was talking about the postseason when it matters the most.
Those stats I got from was the season. That's the numbers I got from, and that's what I was talking about. Perk, me and you both know. You've better than me. You've played with him also. You know what's going on, man. Even at the age, and even what you done seen past this past season, man. Like you said, like you've been a big James Harden fan. I don't know why that changed now or what's going on. All I said is ex-NBA players getting on TV talking about how other current NBA players shouldn't get a certain type of money. It's not fair, because when it was time for you to get a contract, you wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want that on your plate. That's all I'm saying, baby.
Hold on. Let me interject.
No, let him talk. He a grown man. Let him talk. What you got, KP? Talk to me.
Hold hold on, time out. First of all, I never said that James Harden didn't deserve money. The question was that did he deserve the Supermax? And this is not James Harden's first deal. James Harden had already made 400 plus. We're talking about, based on his performance, does he deserve the Supermax? And Stephen A. and Molly can contest to this. I have been on here numerous of times. Okay, I have been on here numerous times saying that James Harden do deserve a contract extension. But if you ask me, based on his performance, do he deserve a Supermax?
Now, first of all, I thought that was hilarious. I even read some comments under that video, and some people were saying this could be the new Charles Barkley and Shaq and Kenny Smith, but they're kind of, because it was wildly entertaining. But let me get back and let's get serious. Let's talk about James Harden's stats in the playoffs last season. First of all, James Harden in the playoffs last season in 12 games averaged 18.6 points per game. He shot what? 40% from the field, 36.8% from the three-point line, 89% from the free throw line, got you 5.7 rebounds, 8.6 assists, 0.8 blocks, and 0.8 steals, and 0.7 blocks. If you watch James Harden in the playoffs, I think he only had one game, at least in that series, in the second series that he played, I believe it was against the Miami Heat. I don't remember the team that they played, but he only had like one game where he scored 30 points. He definitely did not look like the James Harden of old. So Kendrick Perkins and all the people that said that James Harden doesn't deserve a Supermax contract are 100% correct. We got to cut that out. So that's the first thing. Now, if y'all remember, a few weeks ago, JJ Redick and Mad Dog Russo had a spat on ESPN over a segment that had to do with Draymond Green, because essentially they were talking about Draymond Green's in-game and post-game antics. That's what they were talking about. And Mad Dog Russo basically said, just shut up and play, right? Just play. And JJ Redick got very offended, and he said, wait a minute, this is not how they talk on this network. This is how they talk on Fox News. And it was this big thing. And then Draymond Green came out on this show called, The Volume. And he basically saluted JJ Redick for standing up to him and basically said, listen, he was talking like as if he was the new gatekeeper of media, especially independent media. He's like, if you never played the game or you don't really know what you're talking about, you don't get to talk about basketball. Basically saying he's the one that's going to decide. And I said at the time, and I'm going to say it again, I thought it was one of the most ridiculous things to suggest that just because you're an athlete or just because you played a particular sport, that would somehow mean you would be able to call it straight down the line. I said, that's ridiculous. I said it was tantamount to saying that it was tantamount to politicians basically saying only politicians and civil servants should talk about politics because they're the only ones really in politics. That makes no sense whatsoever. Just because I'm a politician, just because I ran for president, that should mean that I'm the only one that should be allowed to talk about what? That makes no sense. And secondly, implies that just because you did that thing, you're somehow going to be fair and balanced. Well, if you look at the situation that we just witnessed between Patrick Beverly and Kendrick Perkins is calling him out for a incongruity. He was like, wait a minute. You were going hard as hell at Chris Paul. You were tearing him a new one. But because James Harden is your friend, you're sitting there pulling punches. What is going on? And then Patrick Beverly brought up a point that I don't understand and I'm going to quickly touch on, which was, I don't understand, I don't think it's a good thing, basically him saying that for former active players or active current players to be saying that guys that are playing right now shouldn't get their money. Wait. Hold on a second. Are you telling me that a guy should get money no matter what, just because all he has to do is just be a current player? What kind of lockstep, what kind of dogmatic way of thinking is that? So the only reason, whether the guy deserves it or not, he should get his money just because he's an athlete like you? What? You see, this is one of the reasons why Charles Barkley is so polarizing. Charles Barkley is going to tell you exactly what he thinks, and he's not right 100% of the time. You look at the predictions that he does, he's rarely right about those predictions, but the one thing you cannot say about him is that he's up there twerking it up and he's not going to say what he thinks. There have been so many situations where Charles Barkley has had other players come at his neck. That has been LeBron James. That has been Kevin Durant. There have been so many, even his friend and Michael Jordan. They stopped their communication. Anybody would criticize him for being a team pro. So many different things. But at least the guy's up there telling you what he thinks. But if you look at JJ Redick, so many people are sending him flowers. Oh, even LeBron, you're doing a fantastic. Why? Because all he's doing is saying nice things about people. And even when he's saying something critical, he couches it in a very soft cushy way. But another guy that's going to be more abrasive, more straight to the point, not going to be kissing your butt on the way that I'm telling you the truth, those guys don't get any flowers. At least from the contemporaries, not from the fans, from the viewing public. They're the ones that give you your props. And guess what? You're beholden to the audience, not your friend. And that's the point that Kendrick Perkins brought up at the end. He's like, wait a minute. It's no longer bros when you come on TV and you decide you wanted to analyze basketball. You're beholden to the audience, and your job is to tell them exactly what you think. Otherwise, people are not going to take you seriously if they just watch somebody lay an egg. And you're going to come out here and say, no. What you saw is not really what you saw. After a while, people will lose respect for you. And I got to commend Kendrick Perkins because, listen, some people may agree or disagree with some of the things that he says. He says LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. I disagree with him. But at least the guy's calling it fair and square, and I like that about him. Is he perfect? No. Am I perfect? No. Are you watching this video perfect? No. You can run up on every person and find all of the points where they contradicted themselves. And you, if somebody was walking around recording you, I guarantee you they would have a compilation of your contradictions as well. At least the guys are trying to be balanced.